I'm gonna kill you. Bam! 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 Got your hat. Ooh, Face Sensei here, back with another video. So this Floyd Mayweather Jake Paul thing was absolutely. You can come in.
Oh, did you fart?
No. Ooh, Face Sensei here, back with another video. So Jake Paul, Floyd Mayweather, madness. I am gonna kill. You didn't say gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So first off, the press conference between Logan and Floyd was a little awkward. Not too bad. I thought Logan stole the conference with saying that I know what you did to your wife, because he spent some time on that. Because Floyd tried to bring up the Japan thing, which is kind of old news. I get it, he's not totally in with the scene, but Logan's obviously, for the most part, recovered from that. And then the race thing. I have a feeling that this has to do with like Nate Robinson, like the YouTube fighting, not so much like Jake and Logan, but obviously Nate Robinson and the whole talk with, that Jake is trying to call out fighters, and Floyd did mention there's two pretend fighters here. So I think he's trying to help represent the whole community here, because Floyd has done two exhibitions pretty much with Connor and with the kickboxer from Japan, but those were actual fighters. One was a kickboxer, one was an MMA fighter. So this is the first, true exhibition with a non-fighter. I think Floyd is just trying to do it for the culture and thinks he can make a lot of money doing it. Obviously he can. I don't think he cares about the opponent. I think he's just trying to do it because the Paul name right now is synonymous with calling out fighters or YouTubers and talking about fighting, right? Being fighters. So looks like Floyd trying to take that angle. The race thing was a little weird. Didn't work too well, and then the press conference just ended abruptly out of nowhere. It's kind of like, all right, this is over. A little awkward. One thing I will say is that seeing them face to face with Logan and Floyd, it's like Logan doesn't look big enough to me to overcome the skill gap, right? I'm not sure that the size is enough to overcome the skill gap, even though he's younger and more athletic. I just don't think the reach is going to be that much of an issue for Floyd. Obviously speed and timing, all those things aren't going to be an issue, but the reach and the weight don't seem like they're going to be that much of an issue for Floyd to overcome the skill gap. Even though I feel like Logan won the press conference, Jake clearly stole the show. Gotcha. That was such a mess. I was getting a lot of we've all seen the bunched up footage, right? The main thing I think is, was it rigged? And does it affect the fight at all? That's what I'm more focused on. There was a clip of Logan saying that he thought he was set up, right? He goes, he thought he was set up because he had said that Floyd's bodyguards had grabbed him before there was an issue. There was a little clip there that we're gonna find. I can probably show you here that he said, I think that was set up, or it might have been set up because they grabbed me before there was an altercation. Now, it happened very fast. Maybe Logan's remembering it that way. The scrum might have happened, and by the time he noticed it, it was after they grabbed him. Right, so that's something that might have happened. I think it was pretty real between Jake and Floyd. But Jake got a black eye, so somebody hit him. So that part clearly wasn't set up. I don't think Jake would just purposely get hit. And if you look at Jake, you hear his voice and you see him getting pulled away and his shirt being torn. He doesn't look like someone who's just acting, right? It looks like he's like, oh snap, he's in the middle of a little potential brawl going on. So it seemed pretty legit to me. I mean, Jake is at it again. He pulled the hat. He had that prepped. Obviously, he told Logan. Logan was probably super against it, but whatever. I don't know what he's trying to do. I just feel like it kind of messes up Logan's fight. I know he's trying to say he said yes to Jake. Clearly, he okayed it with Jake. In what world would you want that to happen? I mean, I guess it's news and we're talking about it, but there's got to be a point where bad press is bad press and it's not great. It's not good for you. I just don't know where. Jake got punched in the face. What's next, right? There's talking about, oh, Floyd's sending his goons after me. Floyd's literally telling him will kill him. And it didn't sound like a very playful or showy threat. It didn't just I'm gonna kill you out there, right? It seemed like pretty legit. What I want to find out is who hit Jake. There's a little clip of seeing Floyd with his hands up. Looks like he's ready to throw a punch, and I think he did throw a punch. I wouldn't be surprised, but was it him that cracked Jake? One of the bodyguard that cracked Jake, but somebody definitely threw a punch. It looked like Floyd did. Might have cracked him over his eye, but Jake's now running to the bank. I don't know. See, what's confusing me? Who is buying those hats? Dude, any of you guys buy those hats? Put in the comments below if you bought one of the gotcha hat, whatever hat it is. It just seems like a very weird thing to buy, that if you buy that and you walk around with it. You know what I mean? It just seems weird. I would assume that they did very well. But how far does it go? Because literally his team jumped on Jake, right? And then separated Logan so fast. Jake was you can hear in his voice started to change. Floyd has been known to walk around with serious bodyguards, so Jake's got some cojones to go out there and do that. I think it was set up in the sense that Jake set it up. I do not think Floyd knew it was going to happen. If he did, then he said, you know, maybe I just don't see them going that far as to setting it up. I'm not surprised that Floyd was that pissed and probably threw a punch and cracked Jake. It's a little weird though, because if you rewind, you know, touching somebody's face or head, obviously, like, it's just like a no-go, especially with fighters. But you saw when Conor, you know, grabbed Laphead, okay, Floyd during their conference, and Floyd didn't budge at all. The difference is Floyd has a contract with Conor at the time, and he has a contract with Logan. Him and Jake aren't fighting, so there's, you know, they don't have an agreement. It's not like they're like in agreement to try to sell the fight, right? Him and Jake aren't in agreement to sell the fight. Him and Logan aren't in agreement. Let's sell the fight. Let's, you know, do a press conference. Let's, you know, use our lines. Let's roast each other, get in each other's faces, maybe a little push and shove or whatever. That's normal stuff. But him and Jake don't. So Jake kind of crossing that line, that little unwritten rule in the fight game. So like Floyd was pretty serious. But Floyd said he would beat both of them in one night. That would be insane. I like want them to do that. Like I want Jake to be ready. So if he finishes Logan early, he's like, Jake, just come in the ring. And then just like, instead of a brawl, they're just like, all right, let him do it. I don't know. I would, at this point, it's already much of a circus. Why, might as well just go all in and do that. But I feel like, why would you agree to that? You know, if you're Logan, you wouldn't be like, yeah, but you can fight Jake too, because then you're saying you're going to lose. I have a bad feeling, like Khabib Conor, very bad feeling for post-fight at this event. This is already set up for it. I have a very bad feeling for post-fight. I just feel like with Jake, obviously that may be the next fight he's trying to set up. If you know, to avenge his brother, which makes no sense in boxing, but it makes sense in the narration of this craziness, right? So if he beats Logan and then Jake comes in the ring and then they have their banter back and forth. I can't even believe I'm talking about this for real. Like, if you go back, you know, a couple of years or even like 6 months ago, I would not think that we'd be discussing this. But here we are in the land of psychoness. Yes, put in the comments below, okay, if you purchased this hat. Okay, I'm very interested to see that. And if you'd like to see Floyd knock them both out in one night, take my money. I would pay double the pay-per-view to see that. Double, triple, quadruple. I'll do it all. All right, leave a like and subscribe. Oos.
Got your hat.
Up. I want to kill you. Bam, bam, bam.
Is that what's gonna happen?
I think so. That might have worked.